Hello and welcome to our final Skedline broadcast. I'm Nima Rajan and here are your today's headlines. Jacob Schultz covers the recent new deal between the Humber Ad Center, the Daily Bread Food Bank, and the Alzheimer's Society of Toronto.
I'm standing in the Humber Ad Center to speak with two of their new clients, the Alzheimer's Society of Toronto and the Daily Bread Food Bank. Gail Nyberg is the Executive Director of the Daily Bread Food Bank and has previously been a client of the Humber Ad Center a few years ago.
2007, we did, the students here did a campaign for us. We were able to pick up out some components and use them, and it was really pretty good.
Each year, the Humber Ad Center takes on two pro bono clients and has their students pitch new campaign ideas to the representatives. I spoke with Scott Russell, the Chief Marketing Officer at the Alzheimer's Society of Toronto, about his opinion of students' work.
We always end up with some really great creative work that's inspiring, that's energetic, that gives us a new feel for whatever we're working on.
I spoke with Professor Richard Bingham about how the Ad Center chooses its clientele.
Our nonprofits, charities, because we're looking for clients that generally don't have a lot of money to spend and who can be flexible about timing.
But then there's one, like, for example, when I was working with Renaissance Foundation, that just goes, I could go to print tomorrow with that. Nothing is required. We put the right phone number on there and we can send that off to the printer, and sometimes that's really what it comes down to.
We're looking for bold, innovative campaigns, and so we've seen 10 of them now. They're absolutely fantastic. We could use any 10 of them. So when we go to make a choice next week, it's going to be very difficult.
Students will present their ideas over a 2-day period to see which one will ultimately be chosen. Reporting for skedline.com, this has been Jacob Schultz.
Thank you, Jacob. Emma Shatoshin provides an inside scope of the Humber Advertising Students' Portfolio Showcase.
Each year, Humber's creative advertising students organize sponsored events for networking opportunities. I'm here covering an event for the Humber Ad Department, which is hosted by the Real Ad interns, giving students a chance to showcase their talents to leading industry experts.
As third-year students, they put together a committee themselves, and they put together a Facebook page, and they started organizing, they started looking for venues, they started seeking out sponsors, and just starting to nail down some of the early logistics and getting the thing organized.
I spoke with Vice President of the Portfolio Show Committee, Valerie Mascaron, about the work put forth by the students for the event.
So it was a big process. So I guess first we started hunting down some agencies, keeping track of contacting them, booking the venue. I don't know. It was a really big process, but I don't know. It turned out. So as a student and specifically as accounts, this event sort of sets us up for our internships starting next semester. So we bring all the top agencies from Toronto down here. We talk to them, hold some sort of impromptu interviews, and hopefully get a job out of it.
Essentially, all of our guys get internships. They get internships at the best agencies in the city. And what's really kind of interesting about it is we have a very high percentage of our students who get hired in their internships get kept after their internships, either as contracts or as entry-level employees. The other thing that's been happening lately is that some of them are getting hired even before the show, which is great.
Industry expert Leah Willett attended the event to review the students' portfolios, outlining what she believes to be the ideal intern.
I think there's a lot to be said for not everyone's going to walk in with a perfect portfolio, but there's got to be some nuggets in there, and there's got to be a really dazzling, charismatic, energetic, passionate personality behind it, and that's ultimately what I think people want. That's the kind of people you want on your team, great people.
Speaking from experience, Haley, a postgrad advertising student, provides advice pertaining to her success in getting selected. Like Willett, she agrees much of it came from expressing genuine interest.
I think the number one thing that I learned is just to pick an account that you really want to work on, and to pick an agency that you really want to work at, and not so much chase money. Don't chase a job opportunity so much as you can chase a good fit, because something that you're really passionate about will be a lot easier to go to work every day and to love it, even if you're interning and the pay isn't great. If you're working on a cool client, it's a lot more fun.
This has been Emma Shatoshin for skedline.com.
Thank you, Emma. Kyle Weisscale talks with 10,000 Coffees, a company based out of Toronto that aims to connect students, young graduates, and anyone looking to network with industry professionals all over a cup of coffee.
10,000coffees.com is actually a platform that connects young people and industry professionals from across the country.
10,000 Coffees started in January 2014 and has already set up tens of thousands of people across Canada on coffee conversations with industry professionals.
I know personally it's difficult to know what you want to do after you've completed your undergrad, so I think it's a great way to kind of just have really casual coffee conversations with people who can help you on that next stage of life.
Coffee is a currency that embodies opportunity. And right now we have the mission to really redefine what opportunity means to the next generation.
For 10,000 Coffees, building a network is the most important thing. In a time where jobs are no longer guaranteed and to start out might mean working for free, expanding a network has become increasingly valuable.
Today's top commodity is a network. That is currency right now. And the stronger and larger you can build your network, the more referrals you can get, the more coffee conversations you can go on, the greater the likelihood that you might find that job that you're interested in.
If you can spend 5 minutes to log onto your Facebook, you can spend 5 minutes to go on to 10,000coffees.com and create a profile. And the profile is not supposed to be a resume like your LinkedIn profile. It's a way for you to tell your story.
Reporting for skedline.com, I'm Kyle Weisscale, Toronto.
Thanks, Kyle. I spoke with former CBC correspondent Melissa Fung, who visited Humber last week for her National Journalism School tour. I'm here at Humber College Lakeshore campus, where Melissa Fung is coming to speak to students regarding her kidnapping in Afghanistan, as well as her Canada-wide journalism school tour.
I don't know when I got old enough to start lecturing to students, but somewhere along the way it happened. I love meeting young journalism students because you guys are you have so much energy and so much interest, and you're fresh at this. You come at it from a fresh perspective, and I'm grizzly, old, and curmudgeon-y, and so I really, it's been really nice to see so many people interested in foreign reporting and in sort of the work that we do out there.
On October 12, 2008, former CBC reporter Melissa Fung was abducted by bandits during her second assignment in Afghanistan, where she was held captive for 28 days.
Well, I think, first of all, she has an incredible credential to talk about Afghanistan. There have been many journalists, Canadian journalists, who've gone there, but few who've had the experience that she's had. And it was a very negative experience, but one that she's demonstrated since then that she's had the ability to turn into a very positive outcome.
Seeing the little girls in white headscarves, that's progress. You can't deny that there's progress.
Humber College is one of the stops on her Canada-wide journalism tour. With the sponsorship of the Aga Khan Foundation, she not only speaks about her incident, but about her findings in Afghanistan, as well as international media coverage. What is the inspiration that you're taking away from this event?
A lot of it is so much of the horrible things that happened to her. You need to keep that in mind as to the mission you want as a journalist, and she put her life at risk to report on a high conflict area, and so that inspires me to really expand my box and expand my horizons.
Hearing the questions, and a lot of the questions have been really great, really smart, really well thought out, and showing that students are listening, which gives me great hope that we've got the next generation of journalists in this country we're in good hands, our industry.
It's easy to see that Melissa Fung has left the students and the faculty of Humber College looking at international journalism reporting in a whole different light. This has been Nima for Skedline. Now to sports with Jacob Schultz.
Hello, I'm Jacob Schultz, and here's your Skedline Sports Update. We have some sad news from the hockey world. Former Toronto Maple Leafs coach Pat Quinn passed away Sunday night. Quinn was 71. The Hamilton, Ontario native coached 20 seasons in the NHL and was a two-time winner of the Jack Adams Award for NHL Coach of the Year in 1980 and 1992. The Toronto Raptors rolled into Cleveland to face the Cavs on Saturday night. It was the team's first visit to the Forest City, and they would have the test of trying to contain Cavs forward LeBron James. Lou Williams scored a career-high 36 points off the bench for the Raptors, improving their overall record to 11-2. The Toronto defense held King James to 15 points, forcing the superstar to ride the bench for over 6 minutes. The Raptors host the Phoenix Suns tonight. Tip-off is at 7:30. Brandon Banks and the Hamilton Tiger Cats made the Montreal Alouettes eat their words on Sunday by handing them a one-sided 40-24 defeat in the East Final. Banks entered the CFL record books by scoring 2 punt return touchdowns in the victory. The victory was gratifying for Banks and the Tiger Cats after Montreal players Deron Carter, Bear Woods, and S.J. Green all predicted their team would win. The Tiger Cats will play in the 102nd Grey Cup this weekend against the West champion Calgary Stampeders. The Stamps tied their franchise record of 15 wins in a regular season. It will be the team's 3rd finals appearance in 4 years. Stampeder quarterback Bo Mitchell threw a pair of touchdown strikes to Eric Rogers to lead the Stamps to a crushing 43-18 victory against the Eskimos on Sunday. Edmonton starter Mike Riley was 20 for 33 in passing for 216 yards and was intercepted twice. He threw touchdown passes to Paris Jackson and Adarius Bowman in the 3rd quarter when he was injured on the last 2 plays. The Cowboys continued their impressive season by defeating the New York Giants 31-28 on Sunday. Dallas improved to 8-3 on the year, backed by the 4-touchdown performance of quarterback Tony Romo. Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. made an incredible one-handed grab in the 3rd quarter that may be the best catch we will see all season. Dez Bryant was notable for the Cowboys on Sunday. He made 7 receptions for 86 yards with 2 touchdowns. Defensively, Barry Church went to work in the Cowboys' victory with 8 tackles and 1 interception. The Broncos narrowly defeated the Dolphins on Sunday. After a quiet first half, Manning caught fire in the 3rd quarter, throwing 2 touchdowns to teammate Demaryius Thomas. C.J. Anderson also contributed with 27 carries and a touchdown of his own. Tannehill and Landry controlled the game in the Dolphins' favor during the 1st quarter, but was not enough as they lost to the legendary Manning and the Broncos by 3. Jelani Jenkins had 10 tackles and 1 sack in the loss. The 8-3 Green Bay Packers took on the 4-7 Minnesota Vikings on Sunday. Aaron Rodgers went 19 for 29 in the air, earning 209 yards and 2 touchdowns to lead the Packers to a 24-21 victory. Opposing quarterback Teddy Bridgewater threw 2 touchdowns and earned more yards than Rodgers, but was let down by his special teams. Vikings wide receiver Greg Jennings made 3 receptions and scored a touchdown against his former team, but was outmatched by the 58 rushing yards of counterpart Randall Cobb. Now we'll get into the Canadian NHL results from last night. The Montreal Canadiens got blanked by the New York Rangers 5-0. Marty St. Louis, Rick Nash, Dominic Moore, Carl Hagelin, and Derek Stepan all scored goals, and Henrik Lundqvist made 21 saves in the shutout. The Habs take on the struggling Buffalo Sabres, and they're melting snow on Friday. Winnipeg has lost 2 straight after the Detroit Red Wings beat them 4-3. Scoring got started in the 2nd period. Jets forward Dustin Byfuglien and Adam Lowry bagged a goal each. Johan Franzen and Thomas Tatar both netted 1 before Matthew Perreault scored 4 minutes before the period ended. Tatar scored again in the 3rd, and Justin Abelkader sniped the game winner in the 3rd. The Jets hope to bounce back against the Columbus Blue Jackets tomorrow night. The Vancouver Canucks were the only Canadian team that won yesterday, topping the Chicago Blackhawks by a score of 4-1. Jannik Hansen scored a hat trick, and Bo Horvat added 3 helpers in the win. Ryan Miller started after being rested Thursday and made 24 saves for his 13th win of the season. Former Leaf Chris Versteeg plotted the only goal for Chicago. The Canucks are at home again tomorrow to face the New Jersey Devils. I'm Jacob Schultz, and that has been your Skedline Sports Update.
Thanks, Jacob. Arisha Della has the scoop on what's new in arts and entertainment.
Good afternoon, I'm Arisha Della. Here's your arts and entertainment for today. Switzerland's Bern Art Museum has agreed to accept hundreds of artworks inherited by German Nazi-era art collector Cornelius Gerlit. Many of the works are expected to remain in Germany until their rightful owners can be identified. Singer Katy Perry is to headline the NFL Super Bowl halftime show next February. The 30-year-old tweeted she had already started testing out ideas for the show on February 1st in Arizona. One Direction is the Artist of the Year after last night's American Music Awards. Competition in the category was tough, with Iggy Azalea, Beyoncé, Luke Bryan, Eminem, Imagine Dragons, John Legend, Lorde, Katy Perry, and Pharrell Williams up for the honor. One Direction also claimed trophies for favorite pop rock group and pop rock album for Midnight Melodies. Now you're updated with arts and entertainment.
Thanks, Arisha Della. Here's your weekly forecast with Emily Singh.
Good afternoon. My name is Emily Singh, and here's this week's weather forecast. We'll be experiencing between 1 to 3 millimeters of rain and a high of 14 and a low of 1. Get out and enjoy the mild weather today, because tomorrow it will dip to a low of -1 and reach a high of just 3 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Wednesday, you can expect a high of 2 and a low of -2 with partly cloudy skies. Get ready for winter weather with flurries on Thursday, along with a low of -4 and a high of 2 degrees. Thursday will be a cold one, with temperatures dipping down to 5 degrees and a high of only -2. This weekend, we will see a mix of both snow and rain on Saturday, with a low of -2 and a high of 4 degrees. You are now up to date with this week's weather forecast. I'm Emily Singh. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Emily. This has been Skedline for November 24th. From all of us here, thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.